Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing moving to Thailand. And I often get this question more often than not. I get it in emails where people just say, is it easy to move there? And I would first preface the rest of this video by saying, well, it depends on what you mean by is it easy to move there? What are you talking about? The logistics of simply getting on a plane and coming to Thailand? I wouldn't say it's easy compared to times past. We've definitely seen, and we've got a lot of videos on this channel discussing this, we've seen a lot more restrictions in recent years associated with, not recent years, recent months, associated with the response to COVID-19. So, extra travel documentation like certificates of entry, fit to fly documentation, COVID testing, different visa requirements, insurance requirements that didn't exist before. But long story short, it's a fairly straightforward process to get a visa, get a certificate of entry, get on a plane, come to Thailand. If one is asking about is it easy to move here in like a personal sense, well, that's really a question. I mean, it's a more personal question. Expatriating, there are many reasons that can be difficult. Sort of culture shock. Folks that vacation to Thailand, I often find when they come to move here, they often experience a kind of, it's a kind of culture shock that really, I think, surprises them because they vacationed here, they viewed Thailand through one lens, and then living here, it's kind of a different animal. You're not living in a hotel, you may be living in a condo. You're not, and again, Airbnb, folks stay here, I've stayed here renting condos, and kind of live as if they would live if they were here permanently. But there are certain things about Thailand and living in Thailand, various cities in Thailand or even in the country, where there's certain things that it's more active in certain ways that are different, at least compared to, for example, the US or the West. And then it's kind of more subdued than people actually think it is or would actually expect from Thailand, especially some of the cities. It's actually more subdued than they would otherwise have presumed. So there's the culture shock element, and then there's the other thing, you need to be aware. Yeah, even somebody like me, I've still got language barriers here, even though I have fairly functional Thai, in my opinion. But there's still language barriers with respect to especially more complex things that you're wanting to do, especially where you're interacting with things in an international context. For families, education is a really important thing. Making sure that, one gets the adequate schooling, the adequate education that one feels is commensurate with, what would be necessary if those children need to go back to the West at some point. Again, all of these are factors that perhaps are beyond the scope of legal issues. But is it easy logistically? I mean, it's straightforward. Easy is a kind of a gray term. It's kind of a gray area. There's a lot to work with in there. Is it straightforward? Yes, but moving here, there's a lot of personal and practical implications of moving abroad, of expatriating, if you will, immigrating, if you will, that people need to think about before taking such a significant step.